Thank you, Mr. Chairman, soon to be Madam Chairman. Thank you for hosting this very important debate and this very important hearing. The American people in November issued a clear and unequivocal mandate. The open borders we've had for the last 4 years must be closed. We can no longer allow criminals and cartels and gang members and deadly drugs to stream across our border. And President Trump has been working every day since he was sworn in to keep his promise to secure the border. He declared a national emergency on the southern border. He reinstated the Remain in Mexico policy. And just yesterday, President Trump negotiated that Mexico will station 10,000 troops at the southern border to help stop the flow of fentanyl into the United States. President Trump is doing his part to meet the mandate from the voters. We also in Congress must do our part to meet that mandate. That's why I hope that this committee supports the Halt Fentanyl Act, an act to permanently classify fentanyl-related substances as Schedule I under the Controlled Substances Act. Fentanyl and its analogs are extraordinarily powerful and extraordinarily destructive. Congress and the American people don't talk enough about fentanyl's dangerousness. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Dr. Westlake, you are an emergency room physician. How much fentanyl does it take to kill an adult human being?
Well, this is 2,000, enough to kill 2,000 people. So it's 4 to 5 grains of sand is a lethal dose for an opioid-naive patient.
The deadliest drug crisis in American history is unfolding right now. And according to Senator Ted Cruz, the numbers are more shocking than most realize. Today, we're breaking down his fiery testimony and heartbreaking stories shared by families who've lost loved ones to fentanyl. This is not just politics, this is a national emergency. If you're a parent, a student, or simply someone who cares about the future of this country, you need to hear this. What's really happening at the border? Why are social media apps being blamed? And how can 2 milligrams take a life? Let's get into it. Senator Cruz opened with a warning. The flow of fentanyl into America is unlike anything we've seen before. In 2023 alone, over 70,000 people died from fentanyl-related overdoses. That's more than 6,000 deaths every single month.
2 milligrams is what it takes. If you see on this photograph a penny, we all know the size of a penny, and those couple of flakes there are enough to kill an adult human being. Dr. Westlake, last year, approximately how many people died due to fentanyl overdoses?
I believe it was around 70,000.
This means, on average, 6,250 people died every single month due to fentanyl. And it's a number that tragically has skyrocketed during the Biden-Harris years. Sheriff Barnes, as a law enforcement professional on the front lines of the battle with fentanyl, can I ask you how many pounds of fentanyl were seized by Customs and Border Patrol at the border last year?
Senator, unfortunately, I can't answer that. I can answer for my organization, but I know it was a lot and growing.
It's 2,250 pounds of fentanyl. An astronomical figure. And let's actually, I want to put this into context. This packet of Sweet and Low. This packet, if it were full of fentanyl, could kill 500 people. Now take a look at this container. It's a container we're all familiar with. If this were full of fentanyl, it could kill 368,500 people. That's more than the entire population of Corpus Christi, Texas, or Lubbock, Texas. Now let's look at another packet. Something, again, all of us likely have in our kitchen. This single bag of sugar, if it were filled with fentanyl, could kill 905,000 people. Almost 1 million people. This single bag could take out the entire population of Austin, Texas, the capital of my home state. Now imagine 562 of these bags. That's how much fentanyl came into the United States of America in a single month. And how many lethal doses of fentanyl is in 562 bags, what came in a single month last year? 510 million lethal doses. In 1 month, more fentanyl came into America than it would be needed to kill every single man, woman, and child in the United States. This is a crisis we have to solve. Mr. Puerta, Ms. Noring, thank you both for being here. Thank you for your courage. I will say, as the father of 2 teenage girls, you've lived a nightmare that every parent is terrified of. What I would ask is, what would you say to parents at home? What do parents at home need to know about this? What do teenagers and kids at home need to know about the dangers of fentanyl?
If you don't think this can happen to you, I'm very sorry, but you're very sorely mistaken. This is taking everybody by storm. That's what I would tell every single parent. Due to the stigma of addiction and overdose, though, most people think that this could not affect their family because either they don't have somebody who's addicted to drugs in their family or somebody who's using drugs on a recreational basis. But children make mistakes. I do not condone my son Daniel wanting to self-medicate during the height of the pandemic for his whatever was happening in his head. I do not condone it. He made a mistake, and the price that he paid was his life. Children are supposed to make mistakes but not die from them, period. And that's what's happening every single day, 22 times a week in the United States of America. We have to stop this.
Amen. Ms. Noring?
I echo the same thing. You know, that whole saying, not my kid, take that out of your vocabulary because it could very well be your kid. We had every conversation with our children about addiction because unfortunately on both sides of our family, we have members that suffer from STD. But nobody at the time was talking about this crisis. So I feel robbed of a conversation I could have had with my son that could have saved his life. So take that out of your vocabulary. This very well could happen. And it can very well happen. These dealers are on Snapchat, all platforms, every single one of them. And we've reported them. I know Mr. Porta's reported them. And I shouldn't put a number out there, but majority of the time it comes back as this does not violate our standards. So monitor your children's social media accounts. Have the conversation. It could save your child's life.
Thank you for your courage.
Senator.
Thank you.
Mr. Schiff.
Thank you all for being here.
To put that into perspective, that's like losing an entire small city every few weeks. And yet, many Americans are still unaware of how tiny a lethal dose actually is. This right here? A few grains of fentanyl, next to a penny. According to ER doctors, just 2 milligrams, about the size of 4 to 5 grains of sand, is enough to kill an adult. Cruz showed that a single sugar packet filled with fentanyl could kill 95,000 people. That's the entire population of a city like Santa Monica, wiped out by something that fits in your hand. To fight this, President Trump reinstated the Remain in Mexico policy and got Mexico to deploy 10,000 troops to help stop traffickers. But in one single month, 510 million lethal doses still made it into the U.S. That's enough to kill every man, woman, and child in America, and then some. This isn't about politics anymore. This is about survival. 2 parents stood before Congress, both lost their teenage sons to fentanyl poisoning. Their message? Stop saying not my kid, because it can be. Dealers are targeting teens on Snapchat, Instagram, and other platforms. We had every conversation with our son, but we didn't know about fentanyl. No one was talking about it. One mother said through tears, that conversation could have saved his life. If you're a parent watching this, monitor your kids' devices. Have the hard conversations. You might just save a life. Cruz urged Congress to pass the Halt Fentanyl Act, which would permanently label all fentanyl analogs as Schedule I drugs, the highest classification. Without it, law enforcement says their hands are tied. This is one of those issues where both sides of the aisle are beginning to agree we need urgent, unified action now. And hey, if you've made it this far, it means you care. So do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We dive deep into the stories that matter every single week. Fentanyl is silent, fast, and deadly, but knowledge is power. Talk to your family. Watch out for each other. And never assume it could never happen to me. Let me know in the comments, have you or someone you know been affected by this crisis? Your voice could be the one that sparks someone else's awareness.